So tell me of the morning at 6 a.m. when they were pounding on your door to wake you up, to give you the news. And you're 18.
Well, first off, you wonder, if you have to wear the corset again.
Oh, God, that must have been miserable. But you didn't.
If Shakespearean was a woman, she would be saying, to corset or not to corset? Well, corset, I'm going out.
Yeah. So you didn't corset, from what I understand.
As I understand it, I did not have my mind on proper things. And when you look back on such things, you berate yourself for not being in a proper understanding mood.
Right.
And obviously, you can understand how it went, because with many things in human loss, you have denial, anger, depression.
But instantly, with hearing the news, your life has changed, because now you are the regent of a country at 18 years old. I mean, what do you do with that huge responsibility that's now on your shoulders?
How did Albert describe it? Oh yes, you shaved clean, put in a sack, and thrown in with the monkeys.
Well, he had quite the sense of humor. So what was the first thing you did when you were named queen, before it was all official and the whole royalty thing rolled up to your door?
Well, you're confused, you're shocked, you're sad, you're depressed, you're excited.
So you just do what you normally do and go, okay, I guess we're gonna see how it...
I think I did what many people would have done. Stumble around and hopefully they don't fall.
Yeah. So did the people who were around you up until this point suddenly, have a switch go on inside them, and now that you were queen, they treated you differently instantly, or was it the same?
They shifted their game. I was not the focus originally, but now that I am top of the anthill...
How did you like that?
Not at all. Because they always get to look up, I always have to look down.
It's kind of hard to look down when you're 5 foot tall. Because they didn't have the 6-inch heels.
Metaphorically.
I get it. So it's kind of like anything when you have a major life shift that it's coming, and when it's finally there, it's like, what do I do? What do I do? But you just gotta roll with it and maybe sometimes make it up as you go along. I mean, or did you have enough training up to that point, knowing how you had to behave?
Well, I knew which spoon to use, but I didn't know what to do.
Right.
And like I said, I don't think anybody really does. We just stumble around like bumbling idiots.
So Lord Melbourne was helpful?
And you would not believe my mantra when I met with a lot of people.
What?
When they would drone on about, this trade agreement or this trade agreement, I'd be like, another bumbling idiot who takes me for a fool.
You say that in your head? Or out loud?
I did once. Stormed out, outraged. This is an outrage. I've never been so insulted in my life. Yes, I don't think you can properly storm out when you forget your cane is still hooked on your jacket.
Did he fall?
Very terribly so.
Oh no.
Got caught in Hinterk.
Oh jeez.
And he got up and left the jacket and walked out.
He left the jacket?
Well, after he rattled around with it, he was trying to grab it.
Wow.
And I'm on the other end, so I see this lion, this little griffin head on the other side of the door just go.
Wow. But you can't sit there and laugh out loud, right?
Thankfully, everyone else did.
So, yeah, they carried
It was a cover.
That's good. And you're like, okay.
Well, it was a great day.
Yeah. So how did the Lord Melbourne thing, I mean, he kind of was like a fatherly, kind of took you under his wing when you first became regent?
If you get real good at detecting deception for so long, you expect it.
Right.
And when someone finally comes to you under the pretenses of actual friendship and actual good intentions, it throws you off. And then when I thought back about such things, I always had this little pit in my stomach, like, oh, I was such a fool.
Well, was he kind of like a guardian angel, a little bit, being your first ally? And that was very helpful.
And it was very helpful because he was well respected, as opposed to me, everyone was calling greenhorn.
But you got flack for it. But I think...
Yes, I did. But however, a lot of people were like sheep back then. I still think today. But so they saw him and they followed suit. Right. Because it was what he did. Oh, he's talking to her. Can't be that bad.
Well, but the interesting thing is when you became queen, you were not solely responsible for running the country, excuse me. The Whigs and the Tories. So really you had Parliament and you had the Prime Minister. So you still were engaged in the empire business, but not so hands-on, You are now a part of it.
I traded one bag of bumbling fools for another bag of more highly dressed bigwig bumbling fools.
Yeah, I was reading, you had two distinct, very interesting relationships with prime ministers. You had Disraeli, who you, I guess, really liked, and he was in and out like 2 or 3 times elected. And then you had Gladstone, who you really didn't like. And he was there like, 4 or 5 times until he was like 80. He ran like when he was 8. You hear you're all 2 old people, and, so... that love-hate, when Disraeli was in office, everything seemed to be you got along, and then when Gladstone was in the office, you're like...
Yes, I do believe it was like that. Do it
again. But you have to do it in your head. You can't, you have to be the regal. You have to be the persona. And so...
And I often thought if I called him a bumbling idiot, would he storm out of his own office?
Probably not. He seemed to be in there for the long haul.
That was my thought process every time he called me in for his office, when he found some ridiculous reason to get me in there.